Okay, now let's take a look at what we just did here for a second. We went through and we split our clips. We didn't delete any of the parts. We could have by just selecting and hitting delete. And I'm going to do that right now. It's gone. We can't. That was so quick, but I'm going to redo that by hitting Command Z, so it's back. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start assembling our final timeline. This was I guess a draft timeline. We're going to make a brand new one. So let's go back to the project library and select John's clips. We don't want to rename it. It's just highlighted so you can see it's selected. I'm going to hold down the Control key, and now I'm going to duplicate the project, and boom, we have John's clips 1. But let's rename that. We're going to call this final. Well, let's see. Well, yeah, you have to sometimes watch out for these names. So maybe doesn't like some of the names. So we're going to call that the final project. And if we open that up, we'll see it's identical to what was there. So we can either, at this point, we can, if we have these clips that we know we're probably not going to use, we can literally select those and delete it. So we'll do that right now. And now all we have are the ones left that we like. Okay. And at this point I should say that if you wanted to rearrange these, you can, and you can just select the clip and just literally drag them around. We haven't really done that before, but that is a possibility. Okay. Now let's go back to the project library again, and I'm going to make in Richmond another project. But this one's going to be empty. So here we go. I'm going to create a project. We're going to call this real final project. And then we're going to let that go. And at this point, there's nothing in there, and I don't want to put anything in there. So there's the real final project. So here's our kind of original. So here's what we're going to do. Another way you can do this is we're going to do the copy and paste method. So we're going to copy both of these things. Hopefully I can do this here. No, I won't do it. I didn't think it would. Okay. So I'm going to copy this, and there's two ways. You can just hit Command C, which will copy, or you can do the Control, which is basically like a right click, copy. And so you know what's coming next. I'm going back in my real final project, and now I'm going to paste that in there, and boom, it is. You'll notice it didn't paste our marker, so you'll have to, if you want to just remember what it was, and I think it was came to America, just go ahead and redo that. Okay. And I would strongly recommend that you do this. And by the way, when we export the movie, that doesn't come out at all, so you can't even see it when it plays. And
Latinoamérica es una comunidad muy patriarcal.
Okay. So let's go back to the project library, and this is what it is. So I'm going to go back to John's clips, and let's just go to this little one here. I selected it, and now I'm going to copy. I can either do this or Command C. And we go back to our real final project, open that up, and I'm just going to paste that in there. And I wanted to show you, I did that on purpose because I wanted to show you that you have to pay real careful attention where that playhead was. Because you see what it did, it just split that part of that clip. So let's undo that, Command Z, and let's park that thing on the end over here. And now we're going to paste that in there, and there we go, and that's the way it should be. And we have to remember to go ahead and whatever this was. So there we go. And you'll notice now these times are their own unique times, particular to the clips on this timeline. So that's two ways you can do this. Now, here's something really, really interesting. Let's say I want to find this clip back on the timeline. Now, how do I do that? It's really, you know, this all kind of looks alike to me. It would be hard. Let's just say I want to find, and I just for some reason, I just want to know whereabouts in the whole grand scheme of things this is. So how do I do this? So I've selected the clip, and I'm going to hit the Control key again, which is like a right clip, and I'm going to see, look at this, Reveal an Event Browser. And look, it revealed the selection right there. That's extremely useful. And I would recommend that you remember that. All right. Now let's go back to the project library, and let's make another project. By the way, this severely taxes the power of your computer. I have a lot of power in my computer. I have an i7 processor, and I have 32 gigs of RAM, and I've got, you know, as much power as I can possibly put in this 27-inch iMac. But it's very likely, if you're using a notebook computer, you're not going to come anywhere near this. So you may just, you know, as soon as you get rid, if you have no more use for a project, then go ahead and delete it, and I'm going to show you how to do that. This is the original. We don't want to get rid of this, but let's get rid of this, and I'm going to just highlight it and use the right-click method, move project to trash, and that will save your processor. It'll speed things up because you really want to be economical as far as what you do here. Okay, so here we click this open, we have this is everything, and I really think it'd be a good idea to keep all that until you don't need it anymore. And then here's the little bit of clips that we took and copied and pasted from that. By the way, we had a lot of problems with copying and pasting on the shared drive last semester, and that's one of the reasons why we're going to this dedicated hard drive for each team or each user. Okay, so let's just say, let's do another one here, and I want to show you the final thing here. We're going to call this Deb's Clips. There we go. And why do you think we made this? Because we have this other interview down here, and how are we going to do that? We're going to select the whole clip and export that out, or put the E in there, and put the whole thing in the timeline. Same process. You can see these waveforms here. This, you can tell where the best place to make a cut is when nobody's talking, and that's be these blank places. That's a real good indicator. But I'm just gonna randomly select here, and I'm gonna do the control, which is your right click, split clip, and split this clip, and split it down here, and split it. By the way, you can see that it said join clip there too. And here I'm going to put my little indicator here, talks about, and so on and so forth. Okay, so here I am. I'm going to select this, Command C or copy. I think you see where I'm going with this. Let's go to our final project. And let's always put it at the end here, and let's go ahead and paste that in there. Boom, there I have it. So how would I get this over there? I could just do that. Now we can kind of see anyway, at least. I don't know if I had them up on the wall last time. I guess I did. I don't know. Okay, let me show you something. There's a problem with this clip. And you see that little number, it says 21. You probably can't read that. But the frame rate is not going to work with this project. And it just, that's just a really unusual clip. I don't even remember how I got that. But you'll notice that here I am in my studio. It's not matching up. So we're just using this for illustration purposes. If you use the same camera, all the frame rate would be the same. That's really, really important to keep the same frame rate. Because right now it's using 30 and this is 21. So it can't possibly work right there.
Yo digo que es un poco más.
Again, we can select this and reveal an event browser, and it tells you what part of that we. Very, very handy and a very useful tool. So let's stop there and we'll go on to the next.